Hi everyone. Hi. Oh my god, welcome to the 19th episode of INIT Talks. Welcome everyone. Woohoo! Welcome Piki Poki. Welcome Ash. Welcome everyone. And very nice to have you all here today. And yeah, so today we are having a super special guest. This is the first time we are having a guest from New Zealand. So oh my god, I it was a real challenge to arrange this interview. So I'm happy it's finally happening. So let me introduce you guys to my friend Nicole. Hi Nicole. Hi. How you doing, Nicole?
Good, good. It's morning here for everyone wondering the time in New Zealand. It's 7 a.m.
7 a.m. in New Zealand. So guys, please
Yep.
say good morning to our dear friend Nicole. It's still early in the morning for her. So wait, so today is technically Friday for you, right?
Yeah, it is Friday. Yep.
At least it's the weekend. It's still the weekdays for me right now. It's still the weekdays. Oh my god. Happy weekend for you, Nicole. Happy weekend. And anyway, how you doing today? And how is everything? How's life and everything?
Good, good. Just chilling. Yeah, it's because the seasons are different in New Zealand as well. It's just come out of winter and we're coming into spring now. So, my
Oh,
favorite time of year, cherry blossoms, and yeah, no, just chilling, getting ready for upcoming drift season. Yeah.
right. Oh my god. So, speaking about drifting, so guys, Nicole, she's really love drifting. So, she's really into drifting while I'm here or most of the girls in the INIT esports community are into racing. So, it's quite interesting to talk about something different, something different, not racing. So, we are talking about drifting. So, first question for you, Nicole. How did you get into drifting? Like, how did you find your love from drifting? In drifting, like, where did it start?
Um, well, I was always into cars from when I was like a teenager. But then I don't know. I just kind of I had a Nissan Laurel. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Probably don't have them in America. But I had one of those. It was like my dream car. Not into drifting at all. Just I liked what they looked like. And then my partner actually got a Seto Corsa and a Sim, and I wasn't interested in it at all. Um, but he like obviously talked about drifting a lot to me and things like that because he was getting into it. And then eventually we went to a few events, and I saw this girl there that was drifting at one of the events competing, and I was like, oh, that looks awesome. I want to try. And because I already owned a Nissan Laurel, which is considered a type of drift car, I just went and did it. And
Wow.
yeah, now I'm into it. I don't know. It
What?
just kind of happened. It's so much fun. Actually,
Wow.
just like when you're on the track drifting, it's the greatest thing.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, official esports drift. Oh my god, ESDA is here. Oh wait, is it Harry? Hi, by the way, hi, welcome. Yes, we are finally having an interview with Nicole. I'm super happy, super excited to talk about drifting and such. Because again, yeah, Nicole, because speaking about my background, I cannot say that I'm into cars when I was a child. It's more like I'm playing video games, then I found my love in racing through video games, not through cars. So, yeah,
Okay, so
speaking
mine was the opposite way. Yeah.
Yes, the opposite, right? And speaking about cars, when we are playing games, people will focus on racing games, like you are racing the car in the game. It's not like, because for me, I feel like drifting has a different between racing and yeah, drifting itself. Because I think the point system and everything is you're running like a point system basically in drifting, right? Like how does the
Yeah,
competition
yeah.
works? If you can explain it.
Yeah, so it's not a speed. So basically, you have a battle tree,
Mm-hmm.
um, and one person you do two runs each battle. One person leads, and then they chase on the second battle. Um, and there is a course layout, so you have to try and get your car in all the clips on the course layout. And the person that is chasing, their goal is to just get as close to you as possible without actually hitting you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then so you get scored based on that. So if you're in deep in the zones, if you've got heaps of angle and speed,
Mm-hmm.
if you're in the chase and you're really close, that's all like good points. Um,
Right.
and then yeah, basically you pick a winner. And there's judges, so there's usually like two or three judges for a comp, and they pick who they think did the best. So you don't actually get like scored or anything. It's literally just like who did better in this battle.
Right, right. And correct me if I'm wrong because I was like watching a Formula Drift like few weeks ago and I
Yeah,
tried
yeah.
to find like I tried to find out like the meaning of everything in drifting. So I gone to Reddit and try to understand everything basically like the point system and what's the lead, what's the chase, like what does that exactly mean? And correct me if I'm wrong, but is it true that the chase normally will get like a higher score than the lead because as the car who chase it like you need to stay close to the leader, something like that. Correct me
Yeah,
if I'm wrong.
yeah. I think all drift competitions are judged a little bit differently, but everyone loves a good chase. You know, like if someone's right on someone's door and they're transitioning and they look like they're gonna hit bumpers as they like transition out the other way, like that just looks awesome, and it's so much skill and so much high risk that it does get rewarded. At least in my opinion, I think
Yeah, yeah.
chase. I mean, you can't do a good chase without a good lead as well,
Hmm, I
but yeah,
see.
I don't know. Everyone likes a good chase for sure.
Do you like being the leader or the chase?
Um, I like chasing. It is harder though, because you have to predict what the person in front of you is going to be doing and when they're going to
Oh.
brake and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if I lead, I just pretend that the person in the chase isn't there. So yeah, I just go for the clips and just pretend no one's drifting next to me.
So as the leader basically you control the angle and everything as the lead, are you saying that?
Exactly right. Yeah, yeah. But
Okay.
you get given a line, so everyone should be trying to run like the line that you've been told by the judges and getting into the zones and things like that. So you would have, when you were watching Formula Drift, you would have noticed there was boxes like on the ground that they had to get their car into,
Mm-hmm,
like
mm-hmm.
outside zones and things. Yeah. So you got to try do your best run. If you do a really bad run, you'll get a bad
Ah,
score if you're in the front.
right, right, right. That's interesting. And for me, I feel like as someone like who enjoy watching a motorsport in different forms, I feel like if I'm going to a racetrack, it will be more entertaining to see the drifting. Because when you're racing, you are it's just like you need to walk around the track to see the cars. You need to like that, you know. And
Yeah.
normally, like after racing, you see the car will just go poof, and it's gone. But drifting, I don't know. I saw the broadcast on YouTube, and it was at Long Beach. I think I really want to go to Long Beach. Like I really
Oh
wanna.
yeah. Yeah.
So
Looks
cool.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it and I was like, wow, this is so cool. I never thought that drifting can be cool. So yeah, the Formula Drift at Long Beach was the first one that I watched. The first drifting video, let's say, that I ever watched.
Oh my
Like,
gosh, that's crazy to me.
yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
know. Like, how can I be this late in this thing?
yeah.
That's how I see. It.
It's
Like,
still getting bigger though. You're getting into it at the right time. It's only
yeah.
gonna grow, I think, as a sport for sure.
And yeah, speaking about getting into drifting, you can practice that in the sim, definitely, right? I know that you can use
Yes.
the Assetto Corsa for sure.
Yeah, yeah. That's actually how I learned how to drift was on Assetto Corsa. So, before how I said like I wanted to have a go at drifting, and I just went into like a drift school at
Mm-hmm.
my local track. So I just took my Lorel there, had a go. I was actually really, really bad. So but like maybe it's from being a girl, but like most guys, if they have like a car like that, like a Skyline or a Sylvia, they would have done like skids on the street and things like that. Whereas I went to a drift school and I had never done anything like that at all,
Mm-hmm.
so I was really bad. I like couldn't drift at all,
Mm-hmm.
just spun out, just no good, no good. But then
No good.
I came home and my partner was like, I'm putting you on the sim on Assetto Corsa, which at this point I thought Assetto Corsa was done and not helpful at all. But we got the track, same track that we were drifting in real life, so that was really good. And I basically made the exact same mistakes I was making in real life. And then I was like,
Mm.
hey, maybe there's something to like this Assetto Corsa sim. So I started like playing it more, and then eventually I got my own one because I couldn't just use my partner's all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I did 100 hours on Assetto Corsa, and then I went back to a drift school and I linked the track on my second run. Sorry. So
Yeah.
so I went from not being able to drift, did 100 hours on the sim, to being able to link a whole track just
Yeah.
straight away. So the skill transfers I probably couldn't have learned very quickly in real life, especially using tires and things like that. It's really expensive to drift. The sim, you buy it, you get it set up, you're done.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like sim really give you like unlimited time, unlimited sit time for you to practice, to test out everything. Because once you go to the real life, there's a lot of things that you need to think about. Tires, we need money for a track day, for example. Like it could be
So
very expensive if you wanna do it like I don't know every week. So yeah, I feel like sim is the best tool to learn.
it really is. Yeah.
Yeah, and to prepare yourself getting into the track day, getting into the event, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been to heaps of events now, but the first one was really nerve-wracking and scary.
Oh
Um,
God, I bet.
but now I'm good. Now I just go and I'm like, track's my second home, sort of.
Right, right. And do you have like a complete setup at home for like drifting, for sim racing,
For
like?
the sim.
Uh
Yeah,
huh.
yeah. So me and my partner actually have a sim each so that we can drift together. So
Oh wow.
that takes up a lot of space in our house. But yeah, I've got a wheel, I've got a handbrake.
Mm-hmm.
I play in VR because it's way more immersive. I used to have triple screens,
Mm.
but I moved away from them. And yeah, just got a Thrustmaster wheel at the moment, but I want to get a direct drive.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, I'll probably get a Magic wheel
Oh
when I can
nice.
afford one. Yeah, yeah, it's my next sim buy, I guess
Mm-hmm.
you could say.
Mm-hmm. Nice, nice. And yeah, so you used to have like a triple screen, and now you're using a VR for immersion. And
Yeah,
you're not the first one, the first guest here who prefer racing or driving in VR than using a triple. So this is what I heard from my friend. She's the INIT Talks guest few months ago. So the reason why she chose racing in VR is of course for immersion. It's more immersive, and what she learned from racing with VR is that you really train your eyes and your neck because if you move a bit with the VR, you can tell, okay, I'm moving. Am I actually looking to the right direction or not? Like VR really like teach you about yeah the neck and everything. Is it true or
yeah.
is it not? By the way.
I think that's true. And also in drifting, you're obviously doing a lot of looking sideways, especially if you're chasing someone.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really want to be seeing the front of their car. You want to be looking at their door the way that you're going.
Oh.
But also,
Mm.
I don't know if you've ever heard of backies in drifting, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like impossible to do a backy on a screen because you have to look over your shoulder because you're going backwards.
Huh.
So
Hmm.
it really helps. I don't know. It's definitely for drifting. I think you need VR and not screens. You could learn on screens, which is what I learned on.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want the full experience and to be able to get close to people and chase, you
Need
need
a
VR.
VR. I see. Right, because all this time I'm not against VR, but I feel like oh I'm still fine with the triple. But now since I'm having like a lot of chat with the INIT Talks guys, and you girls are telling me like yeah VR is not that bad. Maybe at first you will get like a motion sickness because you're not used
Yeah,
to it, but after that like it's fun, it's more immersive, and the fact that you can actually train your neck and your eyes, which you will need that in real life, I feel like maybe I should start getting a VR maybe in the future.
yeah. It can be a pain to set up. That's probably the most annoying thing about VR. Is like a screen, you just turn it on and go. But a
Ah,
VR is, I don't know, it always has something wrong. You've got to connect
always.
it to your PC and it disconnects and just things like that. But other than
Hmm.
that, it's all good. It's worth it. It's worth the
Yeah.
problems it brings.
I think for me in general, setting up your equipment for sim racing, it takes time. Like it's not
Yeah,
easy. You cannot well, if you play with console, you can just plug and play, but when it comes to PC and especially setting up the monitor and everything in Assetto Corsa, it will take like quite a while. You know what I mean? Like okay, it will
yeah,
take quite a while.
yeah. I really want to just get a PC that's dedicated to my sim. so I don't ever have to change it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then it will be turn on and go, hopefully.
My PC here, like the PC that I have for sim racing, it's basically dedicated for just for the sim. So I was like, you know what? I just set up everything, so you cannot touch it. Please don't. I'm gonna use this tomorrow for a league race. Please don't touch my setup. Don't change any settings. Oh, by the way, we have question from Ash. By the way, what's the biggest cardinal sin when it comes to drifting, and why is it not making enough tire smoke? Ash.
Oh man. As someone who drives a Z, I tell you, I do not make tires. No, the biggest cardinal sin, and why is it not making enough tires?
Tire smoke.
Well, smoke is good. I don't know. In my opinion, drifting is all about the show. You go there to give people something cool to watch.
Yes,
And
exactly.
smoke is part of that, definitely. The more smoke you make, the cooler it is. And one of my favorite things about drifting in real life is when you come to the end of a drift and your car fills up with smoke from your tires. It's
Oh,
just
wow.
like the coolest thing ever.
Mhm.
My Z's only 300 horsepower, so don't make too much smoke. Like, it doesn't fill the car while I'm drifting, but as soon as I come out of drift and I'm just driving along, it like fills up, and it's just the coolest thing. The first time I did it, it was like, smoke, so
Oh my
good.
god. I never made any smoke in real life. I would love to one day. Out of
It's good,
10,
it's cool.
I will. I
How
mean,
much drifting is Tokyo Drift?
why are you using Tokyo Drift as a reference here?
Well, it's funny, in Tokyo Drift they have a 350Z.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Tokyo Drift is the movie that got me into drifting. Like, oh, that's drifting. So I should say thank you to Fast and Furious for introducing me to drifting. Really.
Definitely. Oh man.
Do you think that the movie is actually like close to reality? Is that how people drift in Tokyo Drift? I don't know if you must watch the
I don't
movie,
think
right?
there are too many people drifting in car parks in real life, to be honest. But I think if you asked any drifter if they wanted to drift in a car park to recreate like the scenes from Tokyo Drift, we'd all say yes.
Oh god.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
bet. It's so
yeah,
iconic.
drifting up that bit where they go up to the next level of the car park, that is so cool. That would have taken a lot of skill to do that and not hit a wall.
It takes like a lot of skill for that to do that scene you're saying in drifting.
Yeah, I mean, especially up a bit where there's a wall in front of you and there's a wall behind you and you're trying to drift sideways in a gap that's like barely big enough for your car.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, that makes sense. Right. It's interesting. Now, I feel like I wanna do drifting in Assetto Corsa. Try to recreate every Fast and Furious movie scene. Like it's doable, right? We can find like a lot of track.
Oh my god, someone needs to make a map for Assetto Corsa.
Oh
That's
yeah,
the Tokyo
please.
Drift map.
The Tokyo Drift
Everyone
map.
do it. Someone out there, if you're watching this, do it.
Yeah, if anyone here watching or anyone who watched the clip out of this interview and you guys have what it takes to make a racetrack in Assetto Corsa, please make a Tokyo Drift track for us. It is a map on Assetto? Hey, by the way, hi, Kawaii Cooper.
Someone's already done it.
Oh, really? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm
New
so
goals.
obsessed with Fast Furious. Oh my god. I need to get into AC. I need to get into Assetto Corsa.
Yes,
I got it.
do it.
I got the content manager, but I think the main problem for me is setting up the triple. I don't know. Just quite
That's
complicated.
fair.
That's quite
Yeah.
a pain for me to set up the FOV and everything right in Assetto Corsa. Like it takes time. I need a guide.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, most people will tell you that Assetto Corsa is really hard to set up, and once you've set it up, you don't touch it. You just you just leave it. You leave the settings. You don't change them. If you change something, you might break it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, as you said before, setting it up might be a pain, but when it's done, it's done. You're saying.
It's yeah.
I see. Yeah, I'm gonna actually need to spend time to set it up because sometimes my main sim is iRacing because I'm racing. In iRacing, like you set up the monitor and it doesn't look as difficult as setting it up on Assetto Corsa. So yeah, I feel like I need to spend time for it.
Yeah, and Aceto has real head motion if you're on a screen, so it'll
Mhm.
like turn a little bit based on like what way you're looking or what way your car's going,
Mhm.
so that you can kind of see when you're in the chase position, like where the car next to you is. So then trying to set that up as well is like a whole nother thing.
Right, right. And I think the parking garage from the earlier scene of the movie is in the game. What? Oh my god, guys, all of us, like you, me, okay, Nicole, me, Harry. Oh, I know another drifter, Aerotech. He's so good at drifting. So we should invite everyone to recreate the Fast and Furious scene, and we're gonna make a trailer out of it. Gotta be 10 out of
Deals.
10. So cool. Deal. Deal. Harry, you're in. Everybody's in. Kawai Cooper, you're in also. Everybody. Oh, by the way, down to the next question, by the way, Nicole. And how is the car community, speaking about that, in New Zealand? In your
The
country.
car community in New Zealand.
Uh-huh.
We're all into Nissans here. That's probably the main thing. So New Zealand has lots of Japanese imports, especially from the 80s and 90s. There's
Hmm.
kind of a running joke that we have more Skylines here than Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Um, yeah, so
Wow.
the yeah, there's a big modified car scene here, and obviously New Zealand is quite small. There's only like 5 million people,
Mm-hmm.
so it's quite a small community. Basically, if you go to like an event down in the South Island, which is where I live,
Mm-hmm.
you basically have seen all the people there before, had different events and things like that. Everyone kind of knows each other, helps each other out and stuff, especially with drifting.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
everyone's always breaking cars and stuff, so everyone's willing to lend a hand and help each other out. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's good.
Right, right. Oh, I just remember because I originally from Indonesia, and Indonesia is close enough to Australia, New Zealand, right? It's
Yep.
not that far. I
Close-ish.
rem
Yep.
Yeah, and I remember like in Indonesia, I believe we had like a drifting competition. I think why don't you join, Nicole? It's close enough. Why don't you
Oh
join?
my
There's
god.
seriously D1. I think the name is D1 GP, like D
Someone
like.
shipped my car there.
Yeah, please. Or maybe like you can rent a car there. Cause I know my friend. I don't know if you know Sarah Choi. She's a drifter from. She's Korean and lives in America. Do you know her? Are you familiar with her name?
No, I haven't heard of it.
Ah,
I
right.
usually know. I usually try and pay attention to female drifters, but there's actually quite a lot of us.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, so yeah, the point is I have a friend, Sarah Choi. She is a Korean living in LA, and now she's competing in Indonesia for D1GP. And I believe her car is basically like in Indonesia in the garage. So she doesn't need to like,
Yeah.
yeah, like send the car back and forth. So she has like
Yeah. No, you couldn't do that.
one car
Yeah.
ready. You cannot do that, and you don't want to do that unless you have like unlimited money. Then you can do that.
Yeah. If you had unlimited money, I'd be scared to put my car in a boat as well.
But seriously, Nicole, I don't know a lot about the event, but I would love to see you competing in that event because it's a pretty competitive, and they have like a dedicated series for female drifter. And oh my god, I think you're going to nail it.
Well, was Colette Davis in that a few weeks ago? Is that the same comp? They had
Um,
like an all-girls drift comp. I think it was in Thailand, but I'm not 100% sure.
they might have it in Thailand, but might be in Indonesia also.
Oh, I didn't.
I know
Yeah,
there's like
could
an
be, but
event happening like few weeks ago. I should check.
it's cool. I'd love to join a all-girls drift comp for sure.
Yeah. I mean, if you have what it takes, it's worth to try, right? Like, yeah. But I don't know I don't know the requirements to entry and whatsoever. But yeah, if you can join. Oh, it was Indonesia. See, Kawai Cooper. Yeah, the D1GP. Yeah, the one. Yeah, D1GP. I would
That's
love to see Nicole competing in that one. Do you guys wanna see Nicole competing in Indonesia for the drifting competition? It's gonna be cool.
someone sponsor me.
Someone please sponsor Nicole. Please, everyone here. If you see this live stream, and if you see the clip in the future, and you are interested to see Nicole making a smoke in Indonesia, then you can contact Nicole. So by the way, what's your Instagram? What's your social media if people wants to follow you?
So it's just Instagram, Nicole underscore C33. And also I have a drift team. Their Instagram is kawaiidrift.team.
Oh, kawaiidrift.team. Yes, so please,
Yeah,
everyone, if you want to see more about Nicole drifting or everything, you can find it on Nicole's Instagram.
definitely. Yeah. So the kawaiidriftqueen one is like a pseudo content, and
Mm-hmm.
then my one's in real life stuff,
Right.
basically.
And Ash got another question for you, Nicole. So, what is the weirdest or most unorthodox car you've seen become a drift car?
Um, so someone here in Christchurch has an S2000 Honda
The S2K?
that have, yeah, that they've made into a drift car. They actually won Drift South one time in it,
Mm-hmm.
like event here. So that's probably one of the weirdest ones. Also in New Zealand, we have an R31 Skyline wagon that drifts here, which
Huh.
is pretty weird to see a wagon drifting, but he does alright too.
Right. So that's like Nicole the Holden. Nicole the Holden.
The Holden.
Yeah, from
Oh
Kawaii
man,
Cooper.
oh
From
yeah. Well,
Kawaii
I
Cooper.
also know someone that drifts. Is it a Holden Commodore Ute?
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I don't know how he drifts it. He does amazing to be able to get that car sideways. There's like no weight over the back wheels because it's a Ute. And he comes to the drift track with like all his wheels just like piled in the back of his Ute and then just takes them out and drifts. It's fucking awesome. Oh,
Ah.
sorry.
It's so it's fine. That's so fine. It's fine. It's fine. As long
I'm
we are
excited
saying
about
it
cars.
in a positive way, we can say that in a positive way. It's a freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like sometimes it's not nice to say that word, but sometimes I want to say that word because I love it. Like it's amazing. So I add that word. Like,
I was emphasizing how cool everyone gets to come to the track and just one car drives it there, drives it home. It's awesome.
oh, it was the Indonesian Drift Series. Oh yeah, the IDDS, right? Yeah, I don't know a lot about the people who work in IDDS, but I know one driver that is like driving in that one, and yeah. Oh wait, you guys partnered with IDDS for real?
That's cool.
That's big. That's big. What? And yes, by the way, Harry, I'm happy to see that they have like a dedicated series for the woman, like in drifting. And I think some of the drifters on the grid, or I don't know if you guys saying it on the grid or what, but yeah, I think some of the female drivers are even new. Like they just learned how to drift before they got into this competition. So it's like they can learn something pretty fast, which is great. Put a Holden on its roof, still just as fast.
Good old Alice 3. I think that's what he had. Or was it Alice 1? I don't know. He had a V8. So
Oh, V8.
best engine for drifting, I think, would be a V8.
Then because Ash was asking about the most unorthodox car that you've seen become a drift car and something like that. I'm assuming that not every car can be a drift car. Is it true?
Definitely not.
Hmm.
Definitely not. You've got to have a rear-wheel drive car. I guess that's pretty obvious though.
Huh.
But I don't know. Some cars seem to have weird suspension and they just don't like drifting. Um, I
Hmm.
think people might disagree with me on this, but I fully think that Mazda RX-8s can't drift.
Hmm.
I've I've seen a few people with them trying to drift them, and they never seem to drift that well. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I would, if you're gonna get into drifting, just get a car that everyone else has. Get a Sylvia, get a JZX Chaser, or get a 350Z, and
Mm-hmm.
just copy how other people have set up their car, and it'll be
Ah.
easy, and you'll have a good time.
Hmm. I'm I am 2 years old about this. I thought if you modify your car, eventually you can drift your car, like okay, that was a dumb that was a dumb mindset, but oh, I'm 2 years old about that. So,
You probably can, but
Mm-hmm.
But it's easier to take a platform that people have already made drifting parts for, you know, like you buy modified knuckles, modified arms, and steering
Yeah.
and things like that.
Right,
It's
right.
easier just to be able to buy a kit off the shelf than try and have something made
Try to
and,
make something
not
different.
knowing if the geometry is going to work for what you want it to do and things like that.
Yeah, huh, right, right. So does it mean that you can take almost every car for a race, but you cannot take every car for drifting?
Yeah,
You can drive every car fast, but you cannot drift every car.
I don't think so.
Hmm,
You
okay.
can try.
You can try, it's worth to try,
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah, yeah. Huh, that's that's really interesting. Ash, I'm 2 years old to find out about that. Challenge accept. So Kawai wanna drive. Cooper, you wanna drive. You wanna drift every car. Take it as a challenge. Take it as a challenge. Every golf TDI can drift if you send it hard enough. It depends, Ash. Where do you want to send it? To the walls or what?
A golf's rear wheel drive? I'm not sure.
Oh, hi, by the way, Swirly. Oh my god, very nice to have you here today. Welcome to the INIT Talks. And yes, we are having Nicole today as our special guest from New Zealand, and we are talking about drifting. Very nice to have you here today. So, Swirly got a question, I think. What was the first time that you knew you wanted to drift? As in, what was the first experience that made you say, okay, this is cool, and I want to see what is this about? Yeah, I think we had this
Um,
before, but don't mind to share it again.
yeah. So I think my first main time I was like, I want to try this is when I went to a local drift event, um, and saw another girl drifting at it, and I wanted to give it a go. When I saw her, I was like, another girl's doing this. This looks fun. It looks something like I want to learn. So then I just tried. But yeah, it was definitely going to the track and watching people drift in real life that made me want to do it.
Right. Maybe if one day I go to a drifting events, maybe I will like, oh, I wanna try this because going to IRL event normally will boost my will to try out something new more than just watching it on TV. It's just
Yeah,
different vibes, different ambience. Like I imagine if you go to a drifting event, you will smell the burning rubber and you will see like the smokes, everything. It's like something that you cannot feel when you are on TV. Oh, hi cat. Hi cat. Oh my
what?
god. I got distracted by the cat. Hi. Yeah, but yeah, it's like a different experience. Like seeing the smokes and everything, like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like seeing it on TV is already cool. So I cannot imagine like seeing it in real life for the first time. I promise to you, Harry, Ash, and everyone, one day or next year, I will come to Long Beach to watch the Formula Drift because
Yeah,
during that week, it's crazy. We have IndyCar, IMSA, Formula Drift. It's just wow, you know?
that
Oh
would be
god.
awesome.
Yeah. And by the way, speaking about that, have you been to like a Formula Drift event or something similar like it before?
Nah, there's not too much stuff like that here.
Mm-hmm.
I do have tickets to go to our D1NZ, the
Oh.
which is our national drifting comp. There is a event coming up in November that's in Nelson, which the
Oh.
New Zealand has two islands. We've got a South Island and a North Island, and basically all the events happen in the North Island, and I live in the South Island. But they've
Mm.
just built a purpose-built drift track in Nelson,
Mm-hmm.
and they're doing the first competition there in November. So I've already got
Nice.
tickets to go watch that. So I'm real excited to actually go watch some people at our like national drifting level to see what they can do.
Right. And what's your ultimate goal? Speaking about the dream, for example, me, one day I wanna go to Watkins Glen because I like the track. I wanna watch NASCAR in Watkins Glen because I like it. So,
Oh
what
yeah,
about you?
okay. What's my dream? Go to
Mm-hmm.
Ibisu in Japan.
Oh God, Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be my dream. Or maybe not Ibisu, maybe Sportsland Yamanashi, which is this track that I play on a Seto course. So like all the time, it is my favorite track, but it is a replica of an in real life track in Japan. And I
Oh
would
wow.
love to go there and drift there. That would just be
Hmm.
totally amazing. But I think any drifter will tell you drifting in Japan is a big dream. Ebisu looks like the most fun place on earth if you're into drifting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like everyone's goal to go to Japan. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like all the car enthusiasts, I must say, like everybody wants to go to Japan. Like the car culture is in Japan. I feel like it's different. Like it's
Definitely.
different than something else in another country, in another side of the world. I don't know. Japan is like something else. Speaking about that, yeah, I would love to. I would love to. Like a letter else. You just send it and see where it goes. Just send it. No, in real life, I'm not gonna just sending it. Because in real life, it costs you real money. So I'm not gonna send it in real life. If I broke the car, I will cry, I think. I think that's what I heard from real life driver and everything. Like in real life, you will have that fear factor. So that's why, like, no, if I broke this car, I'm gonna need to spend I don't know how much money to repair it. So yeah, I think that's the difference between sim and in real life. Like in real life, you have that fear factor. Do you have that kind of fear factor? Speaking about drifting, Nicole.
Yeah, I've broken a few things. I've broken a few wheels, tie rod ends.
Mm-hmm.
Not last time we went drifting, but the time before, I blew my clutch.
Oh.
But I wasn't mad about it
Mm-hmm.
because it was right at the end of the day, and I'd had like the best day ever, and I had just finished a run.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to put my foot on the clutch, and it went straight to the floor. And I was like, oh,
Oh.
okay,
You were like, oh,
it's not good.
oh,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
oh.
So we had to tow the car home with another car up the motorway at like
Mm-hmm.
80 k an hour. With a tow rope that was like 2 meters long. So that was an experience just getting the car home from the track after that because
Mm-hmm.
my car is street legal, so I drive it to the track, drift, and then drive home. So
Oh.
there's like that extra layer of fear of if I break my car, how am I going to get it back to my house?
Yep, yep.
Um, yeah, and then after that, I pulled the engine out of my car over Christmas because this was just before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Pulled my engine and gearbox, pulled my clutch out. My clutch slave cylinder had died basically.
Mm-hmm.
They're made of plastic. They don't like heavy duty clutches.
Mm-hmm.
So yep, and then I bought a new slave cylinder, went to put it back in. I was like, oh, I better just check that my clutch is okay before I put everything back in the car. And I
Right.
pulled my clutch off, and then my clutch disc was also cracked through the middle. So then I had to buy a clutch, uh, which
You
was an
had to buy a
unexpected
clutch.
expense. Yep, yep. So yeah,
Right.
no, but it's all back together. I've been drifting once since then. Um, but then it was winter, so it was off season. There wasn't really many events.
Right.
Yep. But next time there's another event, and I think the next one I'm going to is on October 8th. So it's in
Like in two
five,
months
five
from now.
weeks,
Yeah.
5 weeks or so. So
Two.
I'm real excited
Yeah.
to get back out there again after that.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god. That's looking fun. That looking fun. Drifting those two game maps are super fun. Oh yeah, that's like the famous one, like the iconic one in Assetto Corsa. That's how I feel, Ash.
Yeah.
And you enjoy the Mount Akina maps. Oh, the Mount Akina. I don't think I've tried that one. I don't know. Oh, again,
That's
Ash.
the
I'm
main
so
one from
blind.
Initial D. But
Hapogara all day. Kahara all
Uzi's
day.
my favorite. I don't know if you watch Initial D ever.
Uh huh. Oh, I
But
watch it.
there's a girl in it that drifts on Uzi. She's like my idol.
And Japan is motherland. The drift culture in Japan is just another level. Yeah, everything is. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about drifting, you'll think about Japan, right? I feel like, th-
Yeah.
does it like where it all started? Speaking about drifting.
Yeah, yeah. So the Drift King
Oh, the
from
DK from.
yeah, he's from
Oh,
Japan. He basically invented drifting. So yeah,
huh.
no, it started there. Everything started there, and
Mm-hmm.
Japanese people drift different.
Drift
Um,
different.
yeah, like when you watch different series. So I watch Formula Drift Japan, I watch Formula Drift USA, and I also watch Drift Masters, which is in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
They all drift completely different. They all get judged differently. Japan definitely has the most style when it comes to drifting. They
Mm-hmm.
care more about how cool it looks.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
So yeah, it's good. I like the culture there. I think how they approach drifting is the best in the world.
Hmm. So, are you saying like the drifting event between Japan, US, and Europe? Are you saying that they have like a different type of scoring, something like that?
Well,
Or
no, they all score the same, but just like the way, the style that people actually drive in is different. You know, some people go for big angle with and as
ah,
slow drifters. You know, some people go for speed and things like that. So a lot of the American and European ones, they care a lot about speed, whereas Japan's more
more
laid
about
back, more stylish.
style. Like this is a show. We need to make a show
Yeah,
for everyone.
yeah, yeah.
I see. So if you can put it on the rank from 1 to 3, which one is the best and which one is the worst? Europe, Japan,
Oh
USA.
gosh, I don't know. They're all so different, but I like them for different reasons. I would still say
Ah,
Japan's number one. Um,
Japan number 1.
yeah, and then I don't know. It's pretty even between America and Europe, to be honest. Um,
I
they
can
they
tell.
share a lot of drivers, but I think I like the tracks that are on Drift Masters more, because they're
Oh.
all on a Seto, basically. If there's a drift comp there, that someone will make the track with all the zones and the right spaces and things like that, so you can watch it on TV and then you can jump on the sim and like have a go yourself.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah, I like the Drift Masters tracks a lot more than the ones from America. The ones from
Drift
America are
Masters.
always really hard.
I
People might
see.
say the European tracks are hard too.
I should take a look into that one. Drift Masters, you're saying? That one, the
Yeah,
European series. Ah.
yeah, yeah,
Each competition has something that makes it the best. Right, right, right,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
right. But yeah, I kind of wanna see the Japan also because you're telling like they're different. But for me, as someone who just got into drifting, I might see everything like similar or can't really tell the difference. So,
Yeah.
any tips for everyone here who just got into drifting, like what makes drifting interesting, and if we are going to attract, like any tips for that, like what do we see, what to see and everything.
Uh, I guess just try watch it all. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so you can actually see the different styles. I'd say drifting's very nuanced when you're really getting down to like the pro level.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't know. Yeah, you just got to watch it heaps. Obviously, at the start, it just looks like people are going sideways and making smoke, but there's a lot more to it with left foot braking and things like that that you definitely wouldn't notice when you're first getting into the sport, but you will as you like learn how to drive. And I think part of it is that drifting is so hard to explain how to even do it to people, like
Mm-hmm.
turn left to go right. Um, so so I think
Yeah.
when you're watching, you have to, if you already know how to drift, you can kind of see what the drivers are doing and like the little things that they do to make their line perfect or get close to the car in front of them and things like that. Whereas I think you can only know that if you have drifted before yourself and have like had a go at those
Mm-hmm.
techniques,
Right,
if
makes
that makes
sense.
sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Right, right. I think that's also the same like when I'm trying to invite my family to a NASCAR race. Like I went to a NASCAR race, I took my family and I was trying to explain like, oh yeah, they're going sideways. Okay, that's the dirty air, blah blah blah. And well, it's not like my family didn't enjoy watching the race, but they didn't have like a lot of context. Like they're still like figuring out everything, but they can enjoy it. So maybe for
Yeah.
everyone here who wants to start like I don't know watching a drifting competition or wanna try out drifting, just I think for me I would recommend like just go to one event, see how it goes, and if you're interested then give it a try on Aceto Corsa because that's how Nicole got into it, right? That's how you got into it.
Yeah.
Like you see it in real life, oh I wanna do it. Then
think
yeah.
um I think most places will have like local drift events now as well. Just go to a local event, and then if you get into it, I mean, most people are pretty welcoming of getting people into the sport. It's like, hey, come crash your car into me. so
Come crash your car into me.
so people definitely support you getting into the sport because obviously it's pretty expensive and
Yeah.
hard to get into. So yeah, just go check out your local track, see what they're all about, and if you like it, just keep going back.
Yeah, if you like it, then you will get into it. I think that's how I got into the NASCAR. I went to a racetrack during the
Yeah.
Screen to Speed in Las Vegas. I hear the car like super loud, and the ground was shaking, which is super cool, and that's how I
Oh
got
yeah,
into it. Like,
it's
do you
cool.
know, like sometimes you just want to go to a racetrack just to sit down, hear the engine like, and hear the, I don't know, like smell the burning rubbers, or I don't know, like the ground shaking. I just want to experience that every time I'm going to a racetrack, like the sound, it's so cool. It's like so loud, like.
Yeah, it's so different from watching it on YouTube or whatever as well, eh?
It's a total different experience.
Yeah.
No, nothing can like match the experience of going to a racetrack in real life than just watching on TV. Nothing can actually, like, I don't know. To me, it's still different, and I'm
Yeah.
still not happy just watching the race from TV. Like, no, I want to watch it like in real life. So, drifting is definitely on the list. Um,
Awesome.
Speaking about that, in America, I know we have it in Long Beach, but are they like having it like also like in different states, different city, like throughout the season?
Oh, like in Formula Drift, yeah, they go
Mm-hmm.
go to heaps of places. I think they've done
Mm.
Seattle. They're doing Utah this weekend.
Mm.
I'm really bad at knowing where some of the tracks are. I think there's one in Florida.
Oh,
they're,
so
they're all
like
over
they're
the place.
traveling, right? Not
Yeah,
just the Long Beach event.
no,
Huh.
not just Long Beach. I think they do two on that side of America, and then they come to the other side.
I see. The round for Driftmaster at Riga, probably the best competition I've ever seen. Highly recommended watching. I'll put that on the note, Cooper.
That was
So
good.
round four at Riga. Yeah, and Harry also said like the production quality is great and not a lot of downtime between battles. So normally like in drifting, like after like two cars competing, you will have like that downtime, waiting like preparing for the next driver, something like that.
Um, Sort of, depending on how well the comps run, I guess. But usually
Mm.
they try have it so that they announce the winner in the battle, and then the next pair go like straight away, which is fun in like top 32, top 16 battles. Once you get down to like top 4, you have to give people time to change their tires, because people doing
Mm.
Formula Drift and stuff, they're using their tires in 2 laps.
How many set of tires did you prepare for one event, for example?
The most tires I've ever used in one day was 8, so 4 pairs.
Wow.
Um, I've got a very low horsepower car, so that's pretty conservative.
Uh-huh.
Depending on the track layout that I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I can use one pair in about 10 laps. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that would be the fastest I use them, and then the slowest I could probably get 40 laps to a pair on some of the slower like second gear tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a lot when tires cost like $100 each. Um,
Wow. Yeah.
I I do know some people, that were using tires in like 4 laps, and that's why I built a car that wasn't super powerful,
Mm-hmm.
because you have to balance power and making it easy with spending all your money on tires,
Hmm.
because it's not very fun if you're
Right.
just throwing away money,
Yeah,
I guess.
you just throw your money to the air basically, right?
Yeah, when it costs like $2,000 to do like one drift day,
Yeah,
it's a lot. You have to be dedicated to
could be
actually
like
want to do that.
1,000 for one event. Right, right, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, real racing, or yeah, anything that you do in real life related to car. I mean, the car itself is already an expensive hobby, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Even the
yeah,
car already expensive. So can you imagine like, yeah, getting into that? You have to be like very dedicated, I think, if you want to get into racing, if you want to get into this hobby, I must say, you really need to be like fully dedicated on it, because yeah, there will be like one time where you need to grab some cash to fund your hobby, and you have to do it if you want to do it, like, yeah, it could be like really expensive.
that's why sim drifting is so good, because there's no tire costs.
Yeah. Yeah, the footwork for drifting is very entertaining. I know I want to be able to like master the footwork. I'm still sucks at it. Like, yeah, I still need a lot of practice. If I can master that, oh my god, that will be like super rewarding. Like very rewarding, I bet. The one thing about drifting, yeah, just the older GDM option video, old pro events, and just see how much everyone is having. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
crazy. Like
drifting is fun.
drifting,
Yeah,
because I feel like when I'm racing, I wanna be the fastest. I wanna be win. If I'm not fast, I'm not winning. But to me, I feel like drifting is more like art. You are making art, like an artwork. Like you make like a good show for everyone. And yeah, if you're like the chase and you try to like close to the leader, I saw that it was like really cool. Like what? How can you like stay that close? And you can tell when someone kind of failed to follow the leader. Like you can see, you know what I mean? Like not
yeah,
failed,
yeah.
but
They're not in the same line. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's definitely true. Like I've tandemed with people a few times in real life. So in New Zealand, you got to have a roll cage in your car to tandem.
Mm-hmm.
So I only recently had one put in my car, and I've started tandeming, and it's like the coolest feeling ever to be like following someone, and then they just like rev up their car and start going sideways, and there's smoke pouring out, and then you're doing the exact same thing, and you're like a meter away from them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was like the coolest thing ever, and that
Yeah.
definitely motivates me to keep like spending money on my car and going back to get that feeling back again, because it's just like the coolest thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. El's about to move to Utah for character development. Yeah, one more character development and I'm done, Ash. I'm done. Wait, this is INIT Sports account, Ash. Don't trigger me, Ash. This is not my account, by the way. Don't trigger me, Ash. Speaking about character development. Oh, what do I want to ask? Oh, I have a question. Speaking about here in racing, we have like the free practice, we have quali, and then we have the race, right?
Yep.
And how does it work the same in drifting? You got like the free practice
Yeah,
or
yeah.
hmm,
So
okay.
you get a practice, and then you usually get a qualifying. So um,
Mm-hmm.
qualifying you actually run alone. You wouldn't have seen that if you watched Formula Drift, because Formula Drift do a battle tree for qualifying now. But
Mm-hmm.
in most drift competitions, you just do like a lead run alone, and you get scored out of 100,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's how you get ordered for the battle tree. So then person who came first battles the person that came 32nd, and second versus 31st, and so on.
31st.
So yeah, so you get a practice, you get the qualifying, and then you get the battles.
The battles, right? You don't call it race, yeah, battles.
Yeah, yeah, they're just
Right.
battles. Yeah,
So that's how they like decide, like not like decide the grid, but the first to 32, and then the second to 31st, and so on and
yeah,
so on and so on. Hmm.
yeah. So then it usually whittles down to like the best drivers. The people that were doing the best lead runs in qualifying are usually the people that end up at the top of the battle tree, battling it out for like first, second, third, and fourth.
Hmm. I see.
Yeah.
I see. And speaking about drifter, do you have any like favorite drifter or someone you look up to? Like I wanna be like this goat,
Yeah, I got
the
a
goat.
couple of drifters. First of all, Colette Davis. She's
Mm-hmm.
a female drifter that does YouTube. She's like my idol. She's so awesomely cool. I love how she goes everywhere and drifts.
Mm-hmm.
But more close to home, there's an Australian guy called Luke Fink. He also has a YouTube channel. He drifts the 350Z, and he's
Oh.
kind of the reason that I bought a 350Z, was because he was like, these cars are awesome. Um, and he is one of like the best drivers I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And also some other favorite drivers is James Dean. Um, he is probably the best drifter in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
I also really like from Formula Drift, Odie Butchies. I think he's really good
Ah.
at drifting too. And I
Right.
really want him to win Formula Drift this year, but I don't know if he's gonna.
Oh yeah. Is he like doing well in this season or?
I think he's in the top 5, but
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure James Dean's gonna win Formula Drift and Drift Masters. So he's competing in both this year, and I think
Wow.
he's first or second in both of them at
That's
the moment.
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, he's considered the GOAT for sure,
Yeah, the
and
goat.
he won Formula Drift like 3 years in a row.
Ah,
So
wow. That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, you'll see him if you watch any more Formula Drift. Like if you watched on this weekend, he
Mm-hmm.
drives a Mustang, a RTR Mustang.
Oh God, I love Mustang.
Yeah, keep an eye out for it.
I love Mustang. That's my dream car. I wanna have a Mustang, or I wanna have a Dodge Challenger, like Dom Toretto car. That's my dream car. So can I drift the Mustang? I definitely can drift the Mustang, right? So if I buy
Yeah,
a Mustang, I can.
get an RTR Mustang.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So that's
they drift.
interesting. As okay, I only support everyone who drive the Ford. So okay, seems like I know who I'm going to root in Formula Drift. Whoever drive the Ford, I think I'm going to support.
James Dean fan.
Yeah. Oh wait, Harry, wait. They even have it in Seattle, so I can go up to Seattle, and I can go down to LA to watch the Formula Drift. I live in Bay Area, by the way, like in San Francisco. So what? I can go to Seattle. I can go to LA. That's gonna be fun. Gonna be cool.
Yeah,
Um,
that's cool. I'd love to go watch a Formula Drift.
I will.
Bit far from me.
I will one day. Cause I believe if I take my family or if I take my friends to a drifting competition, they will, I to me it will be less boring for them, because you see the car is like making a scene on the track.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
more entertaining, Like yeah, maybe I will.
definitely more of a show. Yeah.
So, by the way, Nicole, before we end the stream, before we end the interview, do you have any tips or advice for everyone here who wants to get into drifting, start drifting? What do they need to prepare? Speaking about the sim, let's talk about from the sim part. Let's say if someone wants to get into drifting from the sim,
Get a wheel. I
get a wheel.
guess.
It's a must, right?
I guess if you're like first starting out, be patient. It's not like easy to pick up at the start, but once you get it, it's so rewarding. Start with donuts and then try to figure eights, and then build your way up to actually drifting out one way and then transitioning and drifting out the other way, like in an S shape. Go from there. Um, I would also say for people that are learning how to chase, one thing I see people do all the time is really focus on trying to get close to the car in front of them instead of focusing on just drifting really well. And what I find is when I'm chasing people and I'm not doing very well and I'm rocketing forward and then back off them and things like that, is I stop focusing on them and I just focus on my own driving, even though I'm chasing.
Right.
And once my own driving is good and nice and flowy, naturally you'll just be with the person in front of you that's drifting.
Mm-hmm.
I just see people make that mistake all the time where they don't think about what they're doing. They're just trying to get their cars really close, and then it just looks really messy and
Right.
not good from out of the car, if that makes sense. So always focus on what you're doing first and then getting close second.
Getting close, right? And for the beginner, start from learning how to make a donut. That's
Yeah,
like the first
donuts.
lesson. Donut.
Yeah, donuts, because then you can kind of feel where the oversteer like starts, because when you drift in real life you get all the G forces, right? So if you're
Yeah.
doing a donut you can like feel that it's going like round and round, but
Yeah.
in sim drifting all the feedback is only coming at you through the steering wheel, and that takes a while for you to figure out what that feels like, and how that feedback corresponds to what the butt of the car is doing that you would usually get from a G-force.
Right,
Um,
right.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah, just start slow, then just try and get out there with people. Try, if you can, also try find someone who will just like do a lead line for you. So even if you're not getting close, you can follow someone and see where they enter and try like copy them and things like that. Having someone to follow and show you where you should be drifting on the track, where your car should be on the track, will really help as well.
Right. And having a handbrake is a mandatory in drifting, correct?
Basically, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you definitely
Wheel
want to, you shouldn't
handbrake.
overuse it, but you definitely need it there for emergencies. I think it's good to learn to drift without it, but you definitely need it. But I don't know, it's hard because some people rely on the handbrake too much and
Yeah.
it makes their drifts bad.
Oh,
But then sometimes you like need it for like some corners and things, or if you're chasing people, I think you need it.
So the chase will use the handbrake more than the lead, are you saying? No, I mean you cannot like generalize that like that, but
No, yeah, I don't know. Chase is probably doing a lot more left foot braking. Um,
mm,
so
okay.
they're like foot flat on the accelerator and then also left foot braking to keep their car like close to yours.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
yeah, no,
Huh.
definitely need a handbrake, but don't rely on the handbrake for
I
everything.
see. Right, right. Yeah, I still need to learn a lot because speaking about the handbrake and stuff, I'm still like a total noob for it. But yeah, I think as a start for me and also for everyone who wants to get into drifting, we are focusing on making the donut first. Don't think about handbrake and everything. Just try to
Yeah,
make a donut out of it. Doesn't matter if
yeah.
it's an ugly donut or what. Try
And
to.
you don't need a handbrake to
You
do a
don't.
donut or a figure eight. No, no, no. No. If you're using a
Oh.
handbrake in a donut, then you're doing it wrong.
Okay. That's a note. Okay. For
Yeah.
me,
So
it's a
you
note
could
for sure.
start, yeah. You could
Right.
start without a handbrake if you're just learning how to do donuts and things.
Right. Think about handbrake later. So it's a good
Yeah.
news for everyone here who wants to get into drifting. You don't need to spend extra money to get a handbrake as a start because you can do it. You can do a donut and figure eight without a handbrake. And after that, then if you want, then you can get a handbrake. Because getting some sim racing equipment can be pricey sometimes. Like most of the time, I'm just waiting for the Black Friday sale. Like, oh, Black Friday,
Yeah.
I'm getting that. But if it's still on the normal price, I'll be like, oh, I'll wait until the sale.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My first
definitely.
handbrake was actually like a PlayStation 3 controller
Huh?
that was plugged into my PC, and then it was like, you know, the little toggles that you use.
Mm-hmm.
We had some like rubber bands and springs set up to like a
What?
handle that I could pull, and when I pulled the handle, it moved the little toggle on the
The
PlayStation
controller.
controller.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it was
Wow.
really, it
That's a
was just
creative
like one
way.
we had lying around, like we didn't use it for anything, and it was like, okay, we'll just make this work. But I've got a real handbrake now, but yeah,
Nice.
you can rig stuff up to work. Aceto
That's
will just
genius.
let you
That's a
assign
genius
anything.
idea. Really. Huh.
Yeah, yeah, and then you get the then it's not like on off as well. It's like a real handbrake where the harder you pull it, the more it's doing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah,
Wow. Yes,
so
by
good.
the way. And and Nicole, I will try like probably like next week because technically speaking about racing in iRacing, next week we are going into the week 13. So there's nothing I can do on the platform. So I feel like I can like spend some time to try out different sim and see how it goes. I like to make donuts in iRacing. Whenever I'm not winning a race, I will make a donut. So I'm so ready to make a donut in Assetto Corsa, right, Ash? Ash is my friend, by the way. Oh my god, Ash, thank you so much for hanging here and having a chat with Nicole. I really hope our conversation today can bring something fresh for you, everyone here, because normally we are talking about racing, we are talking about, yeah, racing, Formula, open wheel, NASCAR, and this is the first time we are having a conversation about drifting. I would love to have more conversation about drifting. So, if you know anyone who can be our next guest, I'm thinking about maybe one day on INIT Talks we can have like a drifting session. Like, I don't know, like maybe like we can have like I can show like the gameplay and Nicole or anyone can like show like, oh, this is how you do it, something like that. It will be like an interesting like, yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
how easy would it be to teach Elz to spin sideways? I mean drifting. It's gonna take like I don't know, just 30
You
seconds.
gotta gotta
It's
spare
not
a couple
hard.
of weeks.
It's not hard, Ash. It's not hard for me to make a donut. I can make donut, cupcakes, cheesecake, and everything.
Oh, good.
Stream Nicole teaching you. Oh my god, guys, are you guys agree to have an episode of INIT Talks where Nicole or everyone from esports drift association like teaching me how to drift? Like, cause I was like registering myself to the coaching session on Discord. Do you guys want to have it? Cooper, Ash, do you guys want to have like a drifting stream here on INIT?
That'd be cool.
Oh, nice. All right, so let's plan it out. I'm planning to have it during the week 13 on iRacing. I will be pretty much free around that time, so maybe we can start learning about drifting. I will contact you,
We
Nicole. Oh my god, we are friends now on
figure out
Discord.
the time zones.
Yeah, oh god, oh yeah, I forgot the time zone. 19-hour difference. Are you free pretty much on the weekend, by the way?
Yeah, mostly. Yeah.
Mostly on the
If I'm not
weekend.
working on my car. Yeah, I'm painting the roll cage of my car this weekend though.
Oh, right, right, right.
Yeah.
Yes, by the way. And yes, everyone, we are going to end the conversation for now, but it was such a great conversation. It was such a refreshing, I must say. Like every day we are talking about racing, and now I feel like I'm getting like a new information and stuff about cars in general. So I'm looking forward to have like a coaching session. So I have a handbrake. Okay, I just need to put it out on my sim. Whatever ready,
Yes.
ready. Okay. And
Yep.
yes, Nicole, once again, thank you so much for having for having a chat with me today and also talking with Ash and everyone here in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm happy
Oh, no
finally.
problem. Thank you for having me.
Of course, I'm super happy to have you, and yeah, we'll be in touch. Okay, me and Esports Drift Association and everyone will be in touch, and yeah, we'll see and if we can make something fun, and maybe I can found my love in drifting. So I will see you guys next week on the 20th episode of INIT Talks with a new guest. Of course, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good talk. So I will see you next week, okay? Next Thursday. And again, bye, Nicole. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of the day for you and also for
Thanks.
everyone. And bye bye, everyone. Bye bye, bye bye. Bye.